6 minutes ago. Let's break this shiz down. This is my first reaction. I haven't actually taken a look at the blog post here. We got lots of screenshots. We got some news. Inside Infinite for February. So every month, Halo Infinite is releasing a blog post, and we got February's this one right now. This will probably go up on YouTube. Yes. Again, I'm trying to do these longer videos. I got ideas. I got ideas of things that I'm doing for YouTube and stuff like that, and this will be in it. So, but we're pretty much we're gonna read through this all in its entirety, and we'll break it down. We'll look at it. We'll do some theorizing. We'll talk about it. I'll give my perspective. I'll give my opinion. All that jazz. We'll figure out how it is. Not worth the time. The Chrome extension, sure. Turn brightness down. It's fine. It's not gonna. I'll be fine. Welcome to the latest Inside Infinite monthly series. We aim to bring you closer to the development process, which is cool. They're just kind of giving you a peek behind the curtain, sharing our vision with Halo in key areas. Two last posts. Our last featured art, graphics, and live team, and the sandbox team. We heard about that. If you haven't seen those, they're there. You definitely should check those out. Those are pretty good. So we covered graphical improvements were made since last summer. Spoke about player customization and even discussed some exciting gameplay elements you'll find in Infinite. In today's Inside Infinite, we'll be discussing and showing our campaign's expansive world of Zeta Halo from help from all the members of the Halo Infinite team. So as far as I'm concerned, again, and this is that, don't quote me on this because I just hear this from all the lore heads who know Halo a lot better than I do. Zeta Halo is the last Halo ring that's part of the original array of Halo rings. So the original 7 rings that were built. Apparently Zeta Halo is the last one, I guess. So they've said it, they have called out that it's on Zeta ring before. I think they called it out back in December. So if not even earlier. So next month, we're looking forward to the shining spotlight on the audio team. I'm actually really excited for this. I've heard some rummagings of some really cool audio things that they have done. So I'm actually really excited to hear if some of those things went forward. That could be pretty game changing for the game industry in general. So but that was something I heard like 2 years ago. So we'll see. And then in April, we'll sit down with our PC team and talk about what you could expect from Infinite Lands this fall. So that'll be, talking about crossplay and stuff like that more than likely. Today's article, inline images, better look. We could open these up. Whoa. Concept art. It's a nice looking ring. So, bringing Zeta Halo to life. As in customary with these blogs, let's get a start round of introductions. So this is Justin Dings. Hello, my name is Justin Dings. I hope I'm saying that right. Campaign art lead for Halo Infinite. 343 for 10 years. Working on the multiplayer map lead for Halo 4 and the campaign lead environment artist for Halo 5, which, like everyone says, Halo 5 does have some pretty gorgeous looking places. Current role is campaign art lead, me overseeing the artistic world construction of the massive campaign. High level, my job is to merge our incredible art direction by the art directors with our overarching design and creative goals, which is by the design and creative directors. Building worlds within the Halo universe has been an amazing experience thus far. Cool. This is Troy Mashburn. Troy Mashburn is he started as the sandbox lead in 2017. Responsible for setting the direction of the sandbox and introducing new gameplay features in Infinite. In 2019, my role changed to gameplay director, responsible for gameplay across the campaign experience. So, just to give a quick rundown for the people who don't know, sandbox, I feel this term gets used a lot, and I think a lot of people don't fully know what it means. But simply, what it means is it is all the stuff. It's all the toys and everything in the game. The weapons, the enemies, everything, like the vehicles, all of that stuff is considered the sandbox. That's what it's all for. So It's all the stuff. I mean, the best way to explain it is the person in charge of this is the person who brings all the toys to the sandbox that the kids get to play with. So, 2019 was the gameplay director responsible for the gameplay. So this is, I mean, his simple thing is now he's in charge of how the game feels. He wants to make sure the game feels good. It plays well. The game balance is there. It's not too easy. It's not too hard. All of that stuff is under him. So, and there's John Mulkey. John Mulkey joined 343 in 2018. So a lot of relatively recent people. I mean, these were after 5 was released. So cool. I mean, world design lead for Infinite. We're leading the design team and getting the hard work with the partners of the sandbox, character narrative, and art. Weave them together and form various missions, adventures, and chief experiences across Zeta Halo. Experience various missions and adventures. Ooh, multiple. Nah, I think we kind of knew that. Welcome to Zeta Halo. And once again, that's the art. You can zoom in. It looks a lot better. You look at this, you're like, yeah, that's, kind of, but you're like, ooh, okay, I mean, maybe not right there, but ooh, details. This is concept art. So it says itself concept art. So that, and usually it has a little thing down here. It doesn't say, but that's not actual in-game footage. Don't worry. So far, I've shared their insights and their goals and visions. When your team's set to accomplish each day, what are your guiding principles? So this is an important thing. This is literally what we know their goals are, right? Our focus on 2 is legacy and simplicity. Not enough things are simple enough. So legacy, I mean, I feel like this is almost self-explanatory. They're about keeping true to Halo, going back to even Halo 1, but they also want to keep it simple. They don't want to overcomplicate everything. So this is probably good because I think Halo 5 did that was a lot more about complicating some things than this. So I think it's a different mindset, which I think is very important for the direction of the game. So visual experience, we are building for legacy. So this is specifically for visual. We really want players to feel like they are experiencing a game that they remember fondly. And they specifically say Combat Evolved. So they're pulling most of their inspiration probably from that. Of course, the other games as well. But with modernized graphics, of course. Great, man. I mean, we've seen those pictures of Chief. They're gorgeous. His armor is amazing. So, simplicity, we want to ensure that we steer away from the overly noisy designs and details, which is a key takeaway for the team coming off of Halo 5. Like I said. Because it is. Like, I mean, the armors are so complicated. They got all these little doodads and stuff, which I think is great. Because I think that's more how they would look in real life. I mean, the more complicated... The fact is these are massive super soldier suits. Like, they're gonna be insanely nuanced and complicated. So I do like that, but there's something to be said about simplicity, So, glad to hear that it is. I think the best way to describe Halo 5 is just, it's noisy. It's just got so much unneeded stuff going on in it. So, with Halo Infinite, we wanted to take this new adventure back to its roots and create a visually pleasing experience that doesn't overwhelm unnecessary complexity and readability, and clear artistic composition prevail. This is our artistic interpretation of a beautiful world to exist within. Rather than something that is purely grounded in photorealism, both goals have been a true challenge to balance, especially against expectations of what it means to be next-gen title. I don't think that's, like, as much as I wish it is, it just can't be. It's by the simple fact that they have to make it for last generation. They are making this game to be played on the Xbox One, and to that fact alone, automatically makes it not next gen. Like, because it's for the last gen. Like, if it's for next gen, they have to make it for last gen. It's no longer next gen. It's just current gen / maybe a little boosted for it. So sadly, no matter what anyone says, it's gonna be held back by that fact. I mean, we saw it with Cyberpunk and stuff like that. If Cyberpunk, it's theorized. We don't know, obviously, but if they didn't have to make it for the last gen platforms, honestly, the game probably would have gone over a lot better. And I have a feeling the same for Infinite. I mean, I think Infinite, I think a lot of companies have looked at Cyberpunk and learned. So I don't think we're going to have, at least I hope we're not going to have as many issues as like Cyberpunk did. I mean, I don't know. All we can do is hope. But I can tell you that the 343 people are very well aware of how that went down, and they're going to do everything they can to make sure that doesn't happen with Halo Infinite. So, but yeah, sadly, I think we're not going to see the true power. Maybe later on in the lifespan of Infinite, maybe they'll do some updates, because I know supposedly we're going to get campaign updates and stuff like that, but I don't know, like, my personal opinion, I wish they would just leave old gen behind, but they can't do that. Like, there's not enough Series X on the market to allow that kind of thing to happen. So there's so many more Xbox Ones that it just financially makes sense to make it for both. So just team collaboration, hardworking community feedback. We're hoping to land community feedback. Can I be community? Let me in. All right, so then this is Mulkey. The campaign experience is the result of many teams coming together to tell Master Chief's story. So this is Master Chief's story. We're not going to get Locke's story, Master Chief's story. At project-wide level, we use the term super soldier. Like super soldier, story-driven, and spiritual reboot. This has been tossed around for a lot. All this means is basically, yeah, it's going to be a continuation off Halo 5, but you could jump into Infinite without playing all the others, and you will completely understand where they're coming from for everything. So, but there'll be plenty of, and I'm really excited for this idea. Is they're basically trying to just almost go back to the roots, go back to the story-driven, that super soldier feeling of you just ripping through people, and just make it feel how it did when Halo 1 happened. I feel like they're just really trying to recreate that Halo 1 feeling more than anything else. So, we'll see. These are used like filters to determine if a particular feature belongs to the game. Things like super soldiers sound like a no-brainer, but it's used frequently to call out something that isn't supporting a super soldier goal. Like not sprinting! Story-driven also sounds obvious, but it's a great reminder that we're here to tell Chief's story. And spiritual reboot, apparently they'll get more into it below. So, I don't think they're going to kill off characters like Locke off screen. So, but we'll find out! Troy said, we have guideposts as we ensure the game lives up to being a Halo experience at heart. Beyond that, my team has a number of best practices we use to ensure the design of spaces experiences for various playstyle and leverages the sandbox in cool ways. Yes! As a speedrunner, yes. For instance, it's not enough that we are... And again, so let's just... I should have said this is not talking about multiplayer stuff. Maybe they'll have it later on, but as far as we know, this is all about campaign world, okay? So, for instance, it's not enough that we are roads connecting various points of interest. We want to make sure there are opportunities for sick jumps. TM. Trademark, of course. The player can hit when racing on a mongoose with a marine on the back. We want to make sure there are opportunities that allow certain weapon choices to shine, opportunities for really satisfying use of equipment options, and opportunities for well-placed plasma coil to really put a smile across your face. Those noob cubes! I'm so ready. And this is the next art. This is pretty. So this is campaign work in progress. So this is supposedly an actual shot of the campaign. This is not concept art. This is... Oh my god. Oh, look at those. Oh, look at those. Oh, look at that grass. Oh my god. Look at that grass. Look at those wheels. Ooh. 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 These tires are surprisingly clean to be in a war-torn, dirted up road. I'm just calling that out, but that's beside the point. Rescue Marines jump into Warhawk and discover everything, so. Where are the Minecraft blocks at? Right there. You see them right there. There they are. See? Right there. I'm sure they have a better photo of that maybe later on. We'll find out. All right. So what do you look for inspiration when it comes to bringing the world? What are specific elements or prior Halo games that you look to? So our main source of inspiration for Infinite is setting being right in the Pacific Northwest. So they've talked about this a lot, and I am someone who comes from, I live like 10 minutes away from 343. I live down the road from them pretty much. So I get what they're saying, and I will tell you, yes. Like, this is, I see this, and I can definitely be like, yo, I've seen this before in Washington. I mean, all these structures and these weird art looking, I don't even know what this is. And the Minecraft blocks, yeah, those all exist in Washington State. So I totally get it. But no, I mean, you really just, I love the Pacific Northwest, and this is just a side thing. Like, nowhere else has the kind of green. I mean, I know people say it a lot, but there is green in other places. But I've traveled all across the country, and yeah, there's plenty of forests and amazingly beautiful areas, but there is nothing like the green. I think is the best way. Is literally that the kind of colors of green that Washington and just Pacific Northwest has in general, anywhere else that I've seen. So it's just so beautiful. So we made the early decision to go back to Halo's roots and recapture the PNW art palette on Zeta, Pacific Northwest, for those who don't know. On Zeta, we immediately headed, which is true. I mean, that was exactly what Bungie did with Halo 1. A lot of the areas, especially, I mean, the second mission Halo was very, very much that. So, headed out into the mountains, forests, valleys, and not only personal inspiration, but more importantly, lots of photo references. As humans, we can imagine what we think a natural biome should look like. We will make lots of guesses, but until you experience it for yourself, you will never be able to fully realize it. Armed with these references and experiences that we leaned on for an amazing concept team, led by the incredible art directors, we merged the real-world relatable photos, anecdotes, and what it means to be in a sci-fi world. You can see many of our media pieces. We have introduced the idea just below Zeta. Organic Services is a forerunner framework of millions of vertical hexagons that make up the ring structure. So I think they just confirmed pretty much what I've been saying for a while is the Minecraft pillars are the ring structure. It is literally basically the ring shearing itself apart. Like the ring is coming apart, or it hasn't like finished making it. I don't know. It's one of those things that's why I think they just said that. So due to the extreme damage that Zeta has endured, these hexes are exposed and displaced, creating a dynamic landscape and give a unique visual, allows for some really fun gameplay. So I guess if I just read one sentence, I would have known. Well, there you go. This is our way of mixing beautiful real life with the fantastic sci-fi, which come on, who doesn't, right? Also see this form of inspiration applied to the planet San Helios in Halo 5, where in cases we traveled into the slot canyons of the Zion National Park in Utah and gathered inspiration. So I didn't know that. So there's planet San Helios, which is the enemy lines and stuff like that, was apparently based on the canyons of the Zion National Park in Utah. I've never heard of that national park, but great. Cool. Inspiration photos, hope and envision. It's a really great method for building new relatable worlds. Designing games for me is about crafting amazing experiences that pull you so far into the game you think that it, even when you are not playing. It's no surprise that Silent Cartographer from CE is one mission that stands out clearly in my memory. That's everyone, man. Silent Cartographer is just iconic. Easily one of the most, if not the most iconic Halo mission. I'd throw it up there along the lines of like Metropolis. And a lot of people say like Arc or something in Halo 3, you know? So I'm with it. I get it. This mission starts with the Halo theme music playing as you fly over the ocean to an island where you seamlessly dropped off to clear a bunch of the beach with a squad of Marines. But wait, it gets better. Foehammer drops a Warthog, and the next thing you know, you're just running around in circles. Yep, I get it. This mission made me feel like I was in control, initiating combat when I choose. Very true. You kind of just hop in and out as you go. You can just skip things like that. That's another. This is concept art. So this is concept art. This is clearly not in-game, but ooh, little thingies. So banished installations as shown. Okay, so this is not Forerunner. This is a banished installation. a stark contrast to the experiences. So you go from, we go from this to this. We talked about a fair amount of the Halo being a spiritual reboot. What does that mean? So they are explaining it, and they've talked about a lot. So from an artistic standpoint, we want to both introduce new players and welcome back old players. And I think that's the biggest thing. I think that's one thing Halo needs to do, is it really needs to get new players into it. A lot of the old players are either kind of getting to the point where they're just kind of done with Halo, or they're fed up with it, that they're kind of moving on, or there are people who are going to play it no matter what. So I think the goal should be about trying to get new players into Halo, you know? With it being on PC and free to play, no problem. With the iconic Halo imagery of the original games, we're built on. So we want players to have a sense of awe and wonder. Yes, I've talked about awe, wonder, and mystery. That's all I want in Infinite. I just want to be like, I don't want to know things. I want, like, when I come up, like, new enemies, I don't know, whatever it is, I just want mystery to be brought back into the world. Everything in Halo is now explained through books, extended universe stuff, movies and shows, and just, like, all this extended lore that they have explains so much of the world. And there's something to be said about the mystery, where you don't know things. And especially the first time playing Halo, you're like, what is this world? What is this ring? Where am I? Who is this blue lady in my head? What is going on? Like, that's magical, and I think they should definitely try and get that back in with Infinite. So this goes back to our goals of legacy and simplicity that we constantly use our lens as artistic direction. Prime example, we have specifically chosen to begin Chief's journey on Infinite within the Pacific Northwest forest biome on a new Halo ring. So just you're going open world outside area is the first area you're gonna see. Another good example, we took a visual design of the Jackals and Grunts back to closer to the appearance of Halo 3 and previous titles. I think people will like that. I love the look of the Halo 3 Jackals and Grunts. Again, you guys, many of you guys might know that I am not as big. Speaking of which, I'm wearing my Halo Infinite shirt. But not as big of a Halo 3 fan as I think most people are. I still love Halo 3, just not as much as I think some of the other Halo games. But I've always raved about Halo 3 is probably one of the best. It still looks good even today. It's starting to look a little outdated, but the fact that Halo 3 has lasted over 10 years and still looks really good today is so impressive. I can't name another game like that. So we want players. I guess Borderlands actually has done a pretty good job, but that's because of very much the artistic direction they went in. So anyways. We want players to feel nostalgic familiarity with these designs, like meeting an old friend as they experience all the Halo Infinite has to offer. And then, so this is Mulkey again. Spiritual Reboot, in term, is described as our approach to new ideas while staying true to what it felt like to play the classic games. Feeling is the key word here. We want to evolve by creating new experiences and new opportunities, but still remain the original essence. The Grapple Shot is a great example of adding something new that also supercharges things you are already familiar with, like clamber or melee. You are familiar with clambering up a double stack of crates, but with obstacles in Infinite are larger and more organic. Grapple Shot makes gives you the same fluid motion as a clamber with much greater range. Cool. Also, if you're a fan of using melee like I am, you are going to love grappling towards enemy and land. Dude, I'm so ready. Grappling banshees and everything like that. Oh, it's going to be amazing. When I was looking at possibly joining the 343 team to work on Infinite, it was the spiritual reboot that had me incredibly excited. Let me catch up. I'm going to try and just go through. Yeah, next gen patches. They'll have next gen patches. I should probably read chat. I'm reading chat from now on as we go through this. Sorry. When I was looking at for Infinite, we are working to deliver on the promise of the original in ways that limitations of the time would not allow the team to fully explore. And that's what, I mean, Joseph Sain said this in his last thing. Dude, Grapple Hook is the one thing Grapple Hook makes any game better. I don't care what it is. You throw a Grapple Hook into it, it's just better. I mean, I know that's not fully true, but it is, okay? It's just way more fun. I don't care. Is it balanced? Probably not, but is it fun? Absolutely. But anyways, what I was saying is this was what Joseph Staten was talking about. Joseph Staten had a whole thing about talking about how this was, and if you go back to that Halo, the art and direction one, or the sandbox, it was one of the two. It might have been this one. But Joseph Staten came in and he was talking about it, which again, if you don't know Joseph Staten, he's been on Halo for a long time, and he's very responsible for kind of how well Halo 2 and 3 kind of turned out. So, and he's back on Halo as a producer, lead producer. He's great. So, but he said those kind of words where it's just the stories to be found. Oh, what is that?
How many now?
16 systems shut down so far. Seemingly random locations. I'm attempting to lock her and the others out of the main...
You will not be able to stop her. She knows more about how this all works than, well, anyone.
Dr. Halsey,
John.
what's the plan?
The plan? Right now, we are in survival mode. Again. Cortana's message has spread across the galaxy. Most sentient AI are siding with her.
Against us?
Yes. But maybe not you. Tell me, John. What was the last thing she said to you?
She said, goodbye.
Whoa. I was not expecting that. Is that the first time that that's been shown? 'Cause, sick? That was... Yo, that line, though. The last thing she said was, hit me right in the feels, though. Okay, well, that was a thing. So people were questioning what Cortana's role was going to be in there. Has it been shown before? Okay, well then, yeah, forget me. Like, F me, right? So, never mind. No one cares. That's, sick. But we always wondered what Cortana's role was going to be, so she'll have something. I mean, we knew Jen Taylor was doing voicing and stuff, so we knew Cortana has some kind of role in Infinite. We'll find out what kind. So, but Infinite, we are working to deliver the promise. Quotations, I think, are important there. To original way of the original in ways the limitations of the time would not allow. And so that's why I'm saying is Joseph Staten said that exact thing. Is like Halo Infinite, from what he's seen, is the game. And I'm sure he's seen everything now after working on. But when he played through the campaign twice, and he's like, this was the game that we imagined making 20 years ago. I mean, Halo CE is almost 20 years old, and this is the game that they wanted to make back then. This is the true experience that they wanted Halo to eventually get towards. So I'm excited, because when Joseph Staten says that, that's a good thing. Now, I've always said I take it with a grain of salt, because Joseph Staten is working on the game. He can't just be like, oh, no, the game's garbage. Like, he can't just say that. But regardless, the way he phrases things and stuff does give me a little hope. So, can you talk about the process of that goes into creating Zeta Halo and its experiences? Does the world team create a cool... Dude, I've become dyslexic very fast all of a sudden. Gameplay designers jump into the layer... Dude, I cannot say this sentence. Does the world team create a cool space and then the gameplay designers jump into layer on the fun? Wow, I don't know why that was so hard for me to read. Or do the designers spec out the experiences as a blueprint for the world team to go and build off of? This can be a complex one to answer easily, as it really depends on specific experience being built. The world we have created for Infinite is very large and with a finite team size. But they're to create all we want must be strategic in how we build each experience. There's no one-size-fits-all method for this project. So in many cases, it makes sense for the design to go first, lay out a space that's fun for combat with an artistic following to ensure visual qualities are being met. In other cases, it mostly be artistic endeavor that has a world artist creating a space and a designer following afterwards. And sometimes it's a very tight collaboration between. So at the end of the day, each experience we create is collaboration between many disciplines, of course. I mean, you can't build a game with only one discipline. So I wish I could describe the perfect game development formula, but that just doesn't exist. Making games is an organic process with constantly changing variables like technology, deadlines, budgets, people, pandemics. Well, a typical process starts... he just threw that in there. A typical process starts as a rough art block mesh where design iterates until it proves fun to play. There is a back and forth between design and art until we decide to lock it down. Unfortunately, due to one reason or another, things rarely go perfectly to plan. These situations may call for a redesign, reduction in scope, cutting feature altogether. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. This is true. You hear cutting feature, and I feel this scares people. Literally every game you've ever played has cut features. Literally every single game. Every single game. I bet Pong, even Pong, probably had some cut features. In the end, great games are made by art and design working together. So, yeah, Jen Taylor does voice Halsey as well. So, I think Troy and Joseph describe experience creating the game very well. The best results come from collaboration as we move forward. So, another art. This is Banished. This is concept art. This looks like a banished structure. Damn, this thing is big, man. This is a big thing. Raiding a castle, I think, was honestly, I bet that is the inspiration. They're like, what would it be like if Master Chief one-man army stormed a castle? Let's make that. Yeah, Halo 2 has a ridiculous amount of stuff cut. Well, they just came out with someone just released that Halo 4 cut dialogue. God, it's so good. I wish it was in the game. So, but Banished strongholds shown as a concept can be approached from nearly any direction with more tactical. See, that seems like a mistake. I feel like if you're going to make a stronghold, you should probably not make like a bunch of different ways to access the facility. You know? Like, I'm just saying, I feel you should go the castle approach where you have like one point of entrance. And even then, it's annoying to get through. You know, you bring the drawbridge up. Like, that seems like a design flaw to me. What's your personal favorite aspect of the world or experiences? So, one of my favorite features in the game is our time of day lighting system, active while playing the game. This has been one of, if not the largest graphical feature implemented in our engine over the past few years. It allows us to create artistic senses and settings that have vastly different visual tones and moods depending on what time during the cycle. So I've heard this, and day and night cycle apparently in Halo Infinite is what that's what it sounds like, which sounds epic. So cool. So coming across mysterious Forerunner obelisk during the day may feel peaceful and serene, where at night it might feel more ominous and threatening. Really adds more incredible dynamic. It's so cool. Like, awesome. Dude, dynamic day and night cycle. I don't know if it is dynamic driven. Okay. Throughout the game, we were not able to have it before. For me, games are all about the experiences they create. I want to be challenged, engaged, and surprised. That's me. Every time I talk about gameplay, you will hear me talk about player opportunity because I feel it's a key to creating an immersive experience. It's difficult to pin down one favorite aspect because it's the sum of its parts. The world of Infinite presents you with challenges with a box full of toys. How you overcome those challenges is up to you. I love the agency we are creating that really doubles down the premise of delivering the promise of Halo CE. Enemy strongholds can be approached from any direction. There are so many options available of how you take on challenges. Do I blaze through the front gate in a Warthog full of Marines and just light the place up with zero subtlety? Do I scout the perimeter and discover a subterranean entrance that allows me to enter through one of the interior structures? Do I grapple shot to a sniper? That's going to be me. I'm just going to grapple shot everywhere. Literally just grapple shot everywhere. Take out the inhabitant and begin picking off enemies from their raised vantage point. There's so many options available. God, this sounds so great. I am excited to hear the stories of different players. So, campaign. Oh my God, I missed. Oh my God. Oh my God. Zoom in for that detail, but so this is day, and then I guess it like transitions overnight. Look at it. Like, look, there's a little bit of fog going on here. That's kind of cool. I mean, I'm sure they use that as a, but there's no fog here. What? Ooh. Oh my God. This is so beautiful. I love it. This makes me giddy. What? I don't know what that is. What's that thing? That's weird. That's a weird little tear or something. Maybe it's a bird. I don't know what that is. Oh, dude, look at that. Like, just look at the plants at night, man. Like, the plants at day look pretty good. This looks a little funky. But, like, the blades of grass look so good. But then you come down, it's just like, oh, dude, it really does. It really just adds a different dynamic to it. So, this is crazy. So, and this is campaign work in progress. This is on PC. I feel that should be noted. I think they also said that for the other one. This is PC. Be aware of that. Because, again, this is not like pictures from the Xbox One. You know, I can promise you, if you are an Xbox One player, do not think your game will look this good. I am just going to flat out say it right now. It will not look this good. And you cannot expect it to look good. Okay? You're talking about last gen tech trying to do stuff. So, as much as they want to make it next gen, they're going to have to dumb it down a little bit. So, just be aware. I'm just throwing that out there so you're not upset when the game comes out and you're like, why does it not look so good as PC? Nothing ever looks as good as PC, okay? It's just the way it goes. So, but this is... Oh, dude, this gets me a little giddy. What's going on here? Is that a... What? Are there enemies? Oh, there are. I didn't even see those. Yeah, there's a little, like, there's a brute there. There's a jackal there. And this is work in progress. That looks like a jackal. That's a brute. Another brute. Ooh, okay. Okay. Oh, Halo's time and lighting dynamic changes the mood and atmosphere. It really does, man. Man, those are drastically different in it. Oh, dude, honestly, I want to play it all at night. Series X won't be far off. Yeah, Dorath, that's the hope. I think Series X will look pretty close to this. I don't think it... I'm guessing this is them trying to push it for PC. I will say, again, I know people are like, this looks too good to be true. It probably is. This is probably, like, 4K, like, really good. Like, they're trying to push it to look as good as it is. I think everyone's will look a little more dumbed down than this, to be 100% real. Because, as I said, they're trying to make it look as good as it is. So they're going to do the best resolution and everything for it. So, anyways. Dude, when I get a 6900, when I get my new PC, man, I want to try and get my new PC by Infinite's launch, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. Yeah, it's not disgustingly dark either. Yeah, it's not like pitch black dark, which, okay. Story is going to be coming at the player from every single angle, and it's safe to say Zeta Halo is as much a character of Infinite as Chief, the pilot, or Eshram. How does the world and the world's teamwork support the narrative experience? This is a great point. Zeta Halo is very much a character in itself. The landscape, mysterious structures, the surrounding vistas, and even the wildlife, found on it act as unique characteristics of the ring. We want Zeta to feel like a real living place, regardless of whether the player is present or not. Cool. Most importantly, there's an epic visual story to be told of not only what recently happened to it, but also one that implies its mysterious past. Keep using the word mysterious, please. I love it. And what implications it holds for the future. So, dude, deal with that. It's mysterious, all right. I feel mystified. So from an artist's perspective, we have two main goals. Bringing Zeta Halo to life. Visually, show what's happening in current times with the violent occupation of the Banished forces, and how it's shaped the landscape of the ring. And second, create mystery and intrigue around Zeta's past and ultimate purpose. Yes! Literally the words I was saying earlier. I want mystery and intrigue in Halo Infinite. That's it. That's like my main thing that I want. And they literally are using that as one of their priorities. I'm good with that, man. I'm very okay with that. Yes. Intertwining these two major characteristics is awesome and rewarding. Players experience. Players will not only experience... What'd you miss? Suzdy, not much. We're just talking the Infinite blog post, so... Players will not experience the immediate story of Chi's reawakening to confront the Banish. Not only. Okay. Banish and Cortana. Whoop. Confront Banish and Cortana. I think, is this the first time we've heard Banished and Cortana? I don't think that's a flood confirmation. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think it's a flood confirmation. So, because Delta, it was Delta the one that they were studying the flood. Not all the rings have flood on them. So that's the thing. I thought that that's what it implied, but I'm not a lore head like nerds are, so but is this the first time that we now know Cortana is potentially a villain? I think I'm gonna be my prediction. Now this is based off nothing. Halo Infinite will not have flood on day one. The campaign experience will not have any flood. It might allude to potentially having flood or something along those lines, but I don't think you will fight any flood. But I do think, we do know that they are planning on doing a lot of campaign DLC, expansions and stuff like that. I do think we will get flood in Halo Infinite as campaign DLC at some point. We will have some giant flood storyline going on. So, yes. That is my prediction. So, the ring definitely has its own story to tell. The environment artists have done an amazing job bringing it to life. Memories of the past, battles, scars of the surface. Evidence of bigger events can be seen in the fractured chunks of the ring floating in space. I love that. We saw that in the gameplay trailer. I'm just saying that looked awesome. Just the fact that you can see chunks of the ring just floating out. Oh, you could go to those. Awesome. This is something I really care about because I am more of a show me, don't tell me kind of player. Discovering things and figuring things out myself go much further to immerse myself in the world. Fair enough. There are missions that will pull you through the golden path, right? The main storyline. But more than any previous games, we are breaking down the walls to create more open play space. I mean, this is, I think, the idea with open world. They probably have side missions and things like that. What is that odd tower in the distance? I see a smoke signal over the edge. That's kind of cool. I didn't even think about those. Just having, like, random events or something. What is the source of that odd hum? Go find out. There are entire stories to be discovered. I often describe the experience offered by Zeta as Halo Unleashed. Oh, just like Sonic Unleashed, that champion of a game. Yes, because it all experiences the stories you love from Halo present. So, anyways, how does the introduction of new equipment and traversal mechanics like the Grapple Shot factor in? Dude, Grapple Shot is the most talked about thing. I hope no one gets tired of it because I think that it's gonna deserve the hype, man. It's a grapple hook. It's great. I could be Batman. Having tools like the Grapple Shot definitely challenge us to rethink the way we build our environments. Yeah, because I mean, if you just fling yourself over everything, you know, it's such a versatile and fun mechanic. It allows players to get nearly anywhere that they can reach. Our team has had the added challenge of ensuring that we do allow players to get to spots and areas that in previous titles we may have prevented them from getting to. You know, on the top of like the tower or something like that. I mean, you could get to the top of the tower in Halo CE and stuff like that. I'm just saying, they have the whole tower to tower challenge. If you haven't seen it, it's a cool challenge. I've never done it, so. Good news that it's not only as a game is the gameplay, but much more fun because of it. We can also expect players to get into some really awesome location and vantage points that we'll further show. Doesn't matter how much they test it, we're going to break the game with the grapple hook. Speedrunning is going to be amazing. For me, the Grapple Shot is an exciting example of new gameplay feature. One of our core goals is to provide sandbox opportunities, creative problem solving. Equipment like the Grapple Shot is a great example of creating new exciting abilities. Walls, cliffs, and small gaps don't stop Chief any longer. Yep, irrelevant. Give us the opportunity to rethink how encounters are built. This caused some challenges early on because designers couldn't place the final objective at the far end of a base, assuming players will have to fight their way through. But the Grapple Shot can go anywhere they want, whenever they want. So yeah, they could just go around, wrap around. From a development standpoint, this is more terrifying. So that is the one worry. Like, as a speedrunner, that probably means there'll be a lot of kill-based objectives, which I hate. I don't mind them. I think they're okay here and there. But there'll be a lot, like, the objective doesn't activate until you kill every enemy in this area, which adds a lot of RNG into, like, speedruns and stuff, which isn't a bad thing. But, yeah, I think that is going to be a pretty big part of it. So, both terrifying and completely liberating. So, As a player, I like to figure out the best way to approach a situation, and my best way may be different than yours. The grapple shot help the team break out the single path. Dude, the speedrun pathing for this is going to be insane. It's going to take so long to really get it down. So it became so second nature that when I play other games, I find that I miss the grapple. Yeah, something that you didn't know you needed. All right, we'll get to this in a second. I know this is exciting. The grapple shot is super fun. Traversal options allows you for pulling weapons to you. Oh, you could pull weapons? We did see you could grapple the fusion coil. We saw that in the gameplay video. You could carry the noob cube and throw it at people. I freaking love that the studio calls it the noob cube. I'm pushing that, man. I want to chuck noob cubes at people. To you, that you can then throw and take out a shade turret or grapple to and then launch yourself into an enemy to land a powerful melee. Beyond that, so you could pull weapons, which will be awesome. Just be like, oh, Brood, I killed you. I want your gun. You just grapple the gun out of the air and yank it. Oh, dude, you'll look so badass. I'm into it. Undeniable fun. You can carry around other 3 pieces of equipment. Whoa, big thing. Hold up. Beyond the undeniable fun of the grapple shot, you can carry around another 3 pieces of equipment with their own unique roles and utility, and then you can quickly swap between them at any time. I hope no one glosses over this. This sounds sick. I'm assuming this is probably a campaign thing, maybe not multiplayer, because they said that multiplayer, they've already talked that multiplayer equipment will be pickup, like Halo 3. So they have said that. So, but that sounds like that might mean for campaign, they're just permanent things. So you could just use the grapple hook infinitely and use the other abilities, which I don't know what they are. But if we have 3 abilities that have like other movement, I don't know, like a super jump one or something like that. I don't know. That would be sick. And we're gonna note that. We're gonna note these 2 things in a second, and that, and we're get to the photo in a second. This photo has some things to break down. The combinatoric. I've never heard that word. I mean, it's combination, obviously, but combinatoric. I've never. Okay, all right, that's a new word. Play, the combinatoric play you can create in this way opens an astounding number of play options. You cannot wait to see the YouTube videos showing off. Oh, yeah. All right, down to the photo. I mean, let's see. What's it say? Explore the mysteries of Zeta in the way you want. Take full advantage of expanded sandbox featuring familiar weapons alongside brand new additions. So this is a campaign work in progress. This is not concept art. This is what the game looks like. Once again, PC. Oh, look at those details. Ooh. Yo, look at this. Oh, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. This looks a little shaded. I don't know. Like, this looks a little looks a little murky, to be honest. This looks like concept art. But I don't know. Work in progress again. But thank you, Farber. That's a good one. Yeah, I got my Series X. I'm happy about it. So this is what we need to talk about, though. I don't know what this is. This looks like a gun. It looks like a ray gun, or I don't even know. Theorize, what do you guys think this is? What do you think this is? So, this one looks like a grenade. This might be the spike grenade. This kind of looks like a spike grenade, but it doesn't have the actual spikes. This looks like a different kind of grenade almost. I don't know. This might be just the new look for a spike grenade. So, Nerf gun. Banish full auto pistol. This thing? Okay. Does look like it has a little spike on the end there. Maybe like a melee. Ugh. It'll be like the Mangler. I mean, people are talking about that Mangler. That was the Nerf thing. I don't know, though. That doesn't look like... So this is the Mangler. See that? No, see that doesn't look like it, right? So this is what the Mangler looks like. This is the Nerf gun for Halo. It's got a little spike on the bottom there. That doesn't look like that. That doesn't have the spike there. So this might be this. I think this is something else. It wasn't bad. I didn't even think about it, but yeah, it's not a bad prediction. But so we'll see. Interesting campaign, but I'm curious as to what after campaign. Is it going to be like other Halo games? Not much else going on. Well, they've talked about that. I don't know if they're going to do weekly stuff. There will be weekly challenges. From they, you know, I don't know if we know, but I assume they're going to have weekly PvE challenges and stuff like that. Because it'll be like MCC. So I would be amazed if they didn't. Bring me in. 343, hire me. Let me do the challenges for you. I have so many amazing challenge ideas for campaign. I have so many. Please, let me do it. I have so many. So, I don't know. The hog design looks pretty similar to the original, right? I don't know. It doesn't look that far. I mean, it's got a few extra details thrown in, but I don't know. It looks pretty all right. I don't think the Warthog has changed that crazy amount. I think the biggest thing for me that changed on the Warthog is the sound. The sound of the Warthog is so different from the original, so. Bottom half, that sucks? Okay, fair enough. So, then this is this. What do we think this is? Like, this looks like a pulse. Is this like a pulse or an energy blast? Like you shoot a grenade out at your wrist, or is it? Maybe this is the I don't think this is the Grapple Shot logo. Like we don't know what this is. So if this is grenade, what else could this be? Right? Like this would be. I assume this is equipment, right? Like this has got to be your equipment, right? Because they got gun, grenade, equipment. I assume. So. Maybe it's a sonar, maybe, yeah, you're right. Maybe it's a second grenade. It could be a plasma nade, although the plasma grenade tends to be just round. It doesn't have this little stick thing on it, but it could be another grenade. You're right. It does have two there, though, so I will say it has, like, two selections there. This only has one. This has two. So it could be, but I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if this looks like a pulse thing to me, or it looks like a shockwave thing, or something along those lines. Shield wall. I feel maybe. I mean, yeah, it could be, I guess. I guess, I mean, if you're in the center here and this is like an opening and then you have like the shield, it could be. So, who knows? Electric grenade? We think this is the electric grenade? Maybe, I don't know. But, yeah, no, I mean, Dorat, this is all campaign. We'll have to see what they do with campaign after. I mean, we are supposed to get multiplayer stuff eventually here, so. How far does this go? The gun's name is the Disruptor. How do we know, Raven? Wait, what? The gun's name is the Disruptor? What is the, I love hearing all these. EMP, bubble shield, things like that. But I guess, like, how do we know it's the Disruptor? So the gun is, I guess, called the Disruptor? Okay. Well, that could mean a lot of things. But how far this go? Being this sandbox potentially is huge. Are we talking a Halo Destiny hybrid thing? Sometimes the messaging points one way and the other. I don't think so. This isn't like Destiny at all. This isn't like, I think this is going to be more along the lines of like Far Cry or something along that, where it's like they've got side missions, they got stuff for you to do. You can just walk around, get things, maybe upgrade stuff, Metroidvania style. Who knows? Like, open world. Like, but no, it doesn't sound like they're doing any kind of leveling or anything like that. From what I could tell, I mean, there's no level system. There's nothing that you can see here. So I don't think it's anything like that. So the sniper, yeah, I guess I didn't really talk about the sniper, but, man, it's a pretty good looking sniper. It doesn't take up as much as your screen as the Halo 5 one does, which is nice. Does take up a good portion of the screen. It looks pretty far out, but maybe that's the FOV. FOV maybe is pulled back a little farther, so I don't know. EMP nade, one they showed in the vid last year. They might have. I think there was something about like this, like a electricity nade or something like that. Jazzwares. It comes with a Jazzwares figure. Gotcha. Let's go look that up really quick. Jazzwares Halo. This is maybe this. Ah, yep, that's the gun. Look at that. That looks exactly like it. Yep, that's exactly it. They've got the new shotgun with the Bulldog and the Disruptor. You're absolutely right. Well, there you go. Well, now we know what it is. Now we know what it was. Right? J2, I'd say the same thing. How much do I have to pay for literally every game I ever play to have a grapple hook? Change the reticle color? That would be nice, yeah. What? Anyways, we got entranced in that. We got a little more. We got a little more. So we're almost done here. So what impact does co-op have with the gameplay? Campaign is about telling the next great chapter of Chief's story, and the co-op experience is about playing the story together with your friends. The solo gameplay experience is designed to provide players with options on how they want to tackle. These options translate well into co-op for allowing different playstyles. Great thing about being a sandbox game is it means there is no right way to use a particular item or feature. I can't wait to see co-op players doing crazy stuff in combos we didn't think of. Halo Infinite will be offering some of the most open world experience history. So when you add the idea that we could play together to that matrix of player choice driven experiences, the possibilities just explode. So co-op. Yes, there will be split screen. That was one of the things they announced, like when Halo Infinite was even announced, that they were going back and making sure they had split screen back in the game because they realized how much of a bad thing that it wasn't in Halo 5. They realized how many people really wanted it. So launch this fall. Can you give us a sense of what you and your team is focused on for the remaining months? So we know what they're going to be working on. The art team, like most of the teams, are quickly wrapping up all the remaining tasks and polishing items as we approach our bug fix and performance stage of games production. We will be spending the final months fixing bugs and ranging from floating trees to T-posing enemies. Nice. As well as ensuring that the game runs smoothly across all the platforms. While not the most glamorous phase of development, it is the most technical and crucial to shipping. Fair enough. So this is kind of the same thing we got the Sandbox team. The Sandbox team said they were done. Like, all the stuff that they were making is in the game. They are now just helping out other teams and polishing and testing and things like that. And it sounds like the art team is getting there. They're like, hey, we still got things we're doing. We're still adding things, but we're getting to the point where we're polishing, which is good. Really, I hope it is. I hope all the teams are done adding stuff in the game. At least, 95, 98% of the stuff in Infinite is in the game. And from summer to fall is literally just bug fixing and polish. That's what it should be. Release date was fall. They haven't given a approximate date. Everyone is predicting the Halo CE anniversary, which I've said before, the anniversaries and stuff are fun, but game companies don't really care. They push out a game when they can push out the game and they feel it'll be the most beneficial to them. They don't just sit on it. If the game is like 100% done, they're like, well, we're just going to sit on our asses for 2 weeks until the Halo CE anniversary comes out and then release the game. They're not going to do that. They're going to release the game when it's ready. And I think, but right now, the CE anniversary is a good guideline for people to predict things around. It'll be like, well, that is the time. It's a rough timeline that the community is predicting for it, which is fine. So, yeah, team is 100% focused on wrapping up the campaign experience, which includes gathering and addressing user feedback, both internal playtests and user research data. Bug fixing, performance, and balancing. Man, how do I get part of these user research things? I always hear about it. Like, how do I get chosen for these things? I'm probably the people they don't want to talk about. I play too much Halo, though, let's be real. Like, they probably want to get from new players more than anything. Or non-gamers. Thank you for your time. Before we go, any parting comments you'd like to pass along? Say thank you to everyone in the community so passionate, follow our progress, and hunger for more. We try our best to listen to your feedback and make best decisions for you and the franchise. Making games is immensely rewarding but exceedingly difficult. Every decision has a silly amount of complexities. It's very true. I know the sprint. I know talking to the 343 people, the sprint conversation gets brought up almost every single week at 343, and it always ends badly. So it is bad. So let alone doing it while working at home amid a pandemic. This release will be a building block from which we can continue to grow our Halo storyline and experiences quicker and more polished than the past, which is awesome. That is a big thing that they've talked about with the new game engine, is the fact that it's very modular, so they can add things into the game way faster than they could with Halo 5 or any other games. Like, they can just, like, if they come up with a new idea, it can be added from concept to being added to the game could be a few days rather than weeks. So, which is awesome. Just know that we are working as hard as we can to deliver the best experience possible. Of course. I mean, no, I assume they're trying to deliver a horrible experience. So that's a surprise to me. Thanks for asking questions. I love having the opportunity to reach out to the community and share insights on what we do. It takes blood, sweat, and tears to make something this ambitious, but the players are what make it worthwhile. It was a privilege to work on such a beloved franchise that I've been a fan of ever since stepping out of the cryopod in Halo CE. Forward to sharing more developer stories and gameplay as we head toward release. Any chance to talk about this game is an absolute pleasure. I'm sure they're all under NDA, so anytime that they can actually talk about what they do a little bit, I'm sure they're like, yeah, dude, please, I need to get it out of my system. Can't wait to hear the experiences created. So thank you all so much for the hard work thus far, and we appreciate you taking the time to answer. Now let's hear from a few more 343ers about the great work they've been doing across the board. It's story time with Tales from the Trenches. So each month we'll venture into the 343 trenches to hear from members of the team about what excites them, what they're working on, and more insights into the behind the scenes. So, okay, so they do say who. So this year I'm most excited to see the efforts of the graphics team come together. Main focus as the producer is partnering with engineering leadership and set and prioritize goals, as well as resolving blockers and empowering our engineers to do their best work. Following the campaign demo, the team has been continuously iterating on outstanding graphics and lighting work to deliver more immersive experience. This additional level of polish required the coordination of multiple disciplines. This team effort is finally coming together, and we are very excited to share some of the results with the community today, which I'm guessing is all of this stuff. In the same spirit, we've been regularly reviewing Xbox versions of Halo Infinite with our multiplayer partner teams, and while the work in progress images we are presenting today are captured on PC, which we'll dive deeper into a future blog post, we are committed to delivering a great experience and high level of visual fidelity across all platforms. Again, they say these things, and I feel it sets up bad expectations, but I'm just going to be the realist and be like, it will not look as good as PC. They're going to do their best, but just be aware. So that's graphics producer. I've been joking with people recently that our flighting program is about running into every wall that we can come. Okay, hold on. Whoa. I just kind of glossed over this. Recently, that our flighting program is about running into every wall so we can come to release day. We've already found all the walls. In January, we hit a lot of walls. It is exhausting, but then in February, we've hurdled and sidestepped those walls. It feels really good to keep moving forward with each internal flight. Okay, I thought this was, never mind. Thought this was more interesting than it was. The progress is steady, and I'm super thankful for everyone who's contributed. Smash, we will still be working over the coming months, but please ensure you're signed up for the Halo Insider program so you're ready when the time comes. So this is the live producer. And this is what they're talking about. They are planning on doing betas, public flighting is now the new betas. Betas nowadays is just playing games early and early access to games. That's what Call of Duty does. They're like, play our game a week early. It's a beta. It's not a beta. Flights are betas. They are actually using flights. They've been doing it for MCC and things like that for a while now to have community get their hand on the game, try things out, and actually help report bugs, make sure the game works well. So sign up for the Halo Insider if you want to potentially, no guarantee, play Halo Infinite before anyone else does. Well, before some people do. There'll be a lot of people sign up. So, from weapon icons to integral gameplay systems, the UI UX team has their eyes on wide variety of content going into the game. Longtime fan of the series, it's been incredible, rewarding to see everyone's passions in different nooks and crannies. One of the things I worked on was the out of bounds HUD warning, and I'd like to think the lore lover in me helped to make it equal parts informative and immersive. That's funny. Since the world is pretty large, I doubt many people will ever see it, but the speedrunners will be the people who see it. Eric Richter, UI designer. So, might get some dorky humor if they pay close enough attention. Cool. I'm going to break down. I'm going to get all the way out, and I'm going to venture to the top of the ring. I'm going to go all the way straight up to the top of I'll be up there. You'll all be down here. I'll be up there. I'm really excited about the Forge toolset. Forge, them talking about reiterating on Forge and making it more complex than it ever was. I'm really excited. I'm not a Forge guy, but I'm so excited to hear what the Forge community does. It's going to be mind-blowing because the Halo 5 one that they did with the scripting and stuff, that was like a last minute. They're like, hey, it'd be cool if we did this. Now they're like, oh man, this is really cool. So they've put a lot of effort into Forge from the sounds of it. So I'm really excited. So is being vetted by our internal 343 devs. Different teams have been using Forge in different capacities, which in turn is providing us valuable feedback. Help provide improve the Forge UGC, user-generated content for those who don't know. It's great to see Forge being put through its paces. Eager to learn more about Forge Infinite. Won't be quiet about it. Michael Shore, Forge lead designer. Okay, well, no wonder. I hope you all enjoy hearing stories directly from the members of the team. These tales are the small example of what it takes and how incredibly talented individuals contribute to building a game like Halo Infinite. Another one of those talented individuals is Joseph Staten. Does he have... Dude, I am loving these stories. So it seems like every blog post so far, they've had Joseph Staten. They have Joseph Staten close it off where he just tells a story about him playing campaign or something. And it gets me so giddy every time because he is one of those people that when you hear him talking about his experiences and you can tell he's genuinely being real about it and not like he's just the way that he feels, it's really exciting hearing from someone like of his caliber, you know? Not to say that the other people in the studio aren't of high caliber, but the dude's legendary. Anyone who knows Halo should know Joseph Staten. So, head of creative. Close out Infinite. We're going to look at the picture first. So this is campaign. So this is not trees. This is not see, that looks a little funky, but see, that looks a little funky with the lights and stuff, but ooh, that's very nice to look at. Sweet. So this is, there's the Banished Tower again. So this is in-game screenshot, supposedly. So. I want this. Okay. Doesn't matter. So. Across a gap of stars. Capture a Banshee and fly in the floating ring frag. Oh, yeah, dude, I didn't even think about that. Maybe the players are in this or something? Like, yeah, flying, dude, Wasp and Banshees flying around the ring is going to be crazy. Gonna be crazy. As you read this month's update and look at screenshots, you might have the same question I did when I joined the team. What kind of game is Halo Infinite? Infinite's world is incredibly large, and its vast combat zones connect seamlessly to each other. Its vistas are filled with adventures that entice you to stray from the Golden Path story missions. From a distance, it might appear that we're building an open-world game, but it's not really the case. We're making a Halo game. A sandbox shooter where our goal is to make you feel like the most powerful actor in a rich, emergent sci-fi combat simulation. For example, if you zoom into some of this month's screenshots, you can catch glimpses of wildlife that inhabit the ring. We're going to go look for that. Halo Infinite's campaign doesn't have a crafting system, however. And you won't spend time hunting and skinning animals to make better gear for Chief. So Won't be like Far Cry. Spartans wear Mjolnir assault armor. They don't need leather boots. Fair enough. What you will spend time doing is plummeting from rocky overlook into the heart of an enemy patrol, eliminating the leader with a well-stuck plasma nade, using your grapple shot to pull his power weapon off the ground into your hands and then empty its magazine into the rest of the patrol, scattering the nearby wildlife back to their burrows. Which is to say, we've designed Infinite so that you're freer than you ever have been to do what Spartan super soldiers do best. Survey a battle space, plan your attack, engage the enemy, deal with whatever surprises the sandbox throws your way, and then rearm for the next battle. It's just an epic tagline. What's different this time is that you have more freedom than ever to choose your path through the world. Follow a hidden cave system into a well-guarded fortress. Wind your warthog through a fog-filled mountain pass. Capture a banshee and fly a floating ring. Fly to a floating ring fragment across a gap of stars. I was taught epic. A strong narrative remains at the heart of Master Chief. So, all right, I just need to say we are going to be playing on broken Halo Ring parts, and we can go to the other broken Halo Ring parts. Yes. All right. And your journey between the stories is entirely up to you. So what kind of game is Infinite? It's the most open and adventure-filled Halo game ever. It's the Halo game we could only dream about making 20 years ago. And we can't wait for you to explore. Ah, Joseph, you sexy son of a bitch. All right, so they were talking about wildlife. Let's go see if we can find... There! That tree! Maybe that's wildlife. Okay. Let's see. Is there anything? I mean, again, we did see, we talked about these enemies. There are some enemies here. Maybe that's wildlife. Maybe that's that thing right there. Maybe those are like moles or something, or voles or whatever. So maybe that's what that is. It might just be I don't know. So could be. Maybe that's exactly what it is. Do. Oh, nice. Little light thing right there. Little light fixture I didn't see before. So, and then these are... We're looking for it. Oops. Concept art. Here we go. Is there anything here? This is the only other one I think they had. Well, there's a little bug. Right there. There's a bug of some sort of bird, maybe. I don't know. Ooh, what's that little green light? There's a little green light over there. I don't know what that is. Oh, hey! There's a little thingy! There's a little thingy right there! Right there! There's a little thing. I don't know if that's an enemy or that's a little wildlife thingy. But he's right there. I don't think that's overshield. I'm guessing that's like a flare of some sort. So... That's what it looks like. Red coil over the suspension. Fair enough. All right. So, and then someone else did mention it. Into the open world, forget about the main campaign. Yeah, I hope I get so entranced into we're going to spend 20 hours in the open world that we don't even, when I do my very first stream, my 24-hour stream where I'm going to play through the entirety of the campaign, I just end up 100%ing the game by pure accident. So, but yeah, Moody, the Halo TV show has been talked about forever. I'll pull that up really quick because I think, again, it's talked about a lot. This is just that little note, if people haven't, every artist responsible for these designs for an entire month, lol. So, yeah, well. I love that Halo is not even... Oops. Okay. Here we go. So this is this is by Paramount Plus, so get ready to buy another streaming service. But this was what was being talked about. The Halo TV show. It's been in works for a little while. it's kind of been going through a little bit of development hell. Yeah, it's been in a little bit of a development hell for a while. Again, I mean, the really Scott one was supposed to happen, 2 decades ago, almost at this point. But they finally got around to making it. I want it to be good. I'm holding my thing. Like, I don't. We'll see. This does look like a Forerunner world, though. We'll find out what this is. But I'm waiting for it. We're gonna find out. We got Pablo Schreiber as Master Chief. I finally actually started watching American Gods. So, but yeah, if you haven't heard that, so that is Paramount Plus. That's coming in 2022. Get another streaming service, and you'll be able to watch some Halo. So, anyways, I think that was it. I'm gonna quickly just run through chat just a smidge. I know I didn't really talk to chat, so I apologize. So, oh no, yeah, Moody, I don't plan on streaming Infinite at all when it releases. Zero plans. So, I love hearing all these theories. Thank you guys for adding all these theories on there. So, So yeah, that's gonna be it for the Halo Infinite. I know it was a pretty long one. I mean, I've been talking for almost an hour and a half. So, but that's it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Again, if you guys like these, this is going on YouTube. So if you like these kind of things, please just let me know. If you like these breakdowns, if you want me to do quicker breakdowns, I can. But I don't know. I think there's something to be said to give you the exact picture. We just literally will walk through the entire thing together. You get my first reaction. You get to react to it your first time, and we get to really dive deep into these. Take a real deep dive instead of just giving you the baseline news that kind of came out of this. So, but that's the Infinite news update for the month. We gotta wait till next month. So, but hopefully you guys enjoyed, and let me know if you did. And I guess I'll see you guys in a month. Planning on doing more YouTube content, so we'll see. But anyways, though, thanks.